everyone, so for today's video I'm going to be doing a boy talk. Oh yeah. So today I'm going to be answering some questions, scenarios, hopefully giving a tiny bit of advice. I mean, I'm not like a boy expert, I don't think that exists, but I thought it'd be fun. I love watching these videos. I think the people who started these were Frenchincia, so credit to them of course, but I thought it'd be super fun to do a chilled, girly, chatty, like Q&A, boy talk, boy chat. You know, the type of combos that you have with your besties, and I don't know why I'm doing this. If you guys want one of these like with some of my gal pals, I think that'd be super fun. Why didn't I think of that? But today it's just me, myself and I, so we're gonna have to deal with that, okay? So I'm going to head over to my Instagram where I asked the questions. Now my Instagram, I literally can't find. Where did I post them? My Instagram is Oliviagrace Herring if you guys do want to check it out. I post a lot of like outfit, fashion content over there. So I'm gonna literally just get started with the questions right away. I have something on my nose. I got a lot. Wow, okay. The first question is what to do if you're really anxious about getting into a committed relationship. Now for me, I kind of understand this because when me and my boyfriend first started talking, I was adamant. I was like, I don't want a boyfriend. I don't want all of that, like not interested, because I'd never had a boyfriend before, anything of the sort, so I was just like terrified. I was like, I do not want to be involved with another boy, thank you very much. And it kind of like it just happened anyway, it happened naturally. So I think that's the thing, like if you're absolutely sure like I don't want to be in a relationship, and whether that means like you'll talk to boys but you don't want to be in a relationship, make that clear to the person, or to the boy or the girl, I don't know why I'm saying just boys. Make it clear to the person that you are speaking to that you're not interested in like a relationship, just so it's fair on both parties of it, because you'd be really hurt if you thought you're going into a relationship and the other person was like, nah, doesn't want, you know, do whatever. With that being said, if you mean you just don't want a relationship at all, then you don't have to get in a relationship. Like it's not the be all and end all, especially when you're really young. Most of my audience are my age or younger, so it's really not like a big deal about, you know, whether you have a boyfriend or not. It really doesn't affect your life very much. It's just an extra person, adds something extra to your life, which is great, but you're not whole without them. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that you should feel worried about if you don't have, if that makes sense. Okay, so somebody said my ex used to text another girl and he can't. Wait, what? My ex used to text another girl and he left me for her. I can't get him out of my head. Help. Okay, that is horrendous. I don't know what's wrong with my throat right now. I think I'm catching a cold. Better. So that is literally horrible, of course, but I think the main thing to think about is if they were the person for you, they wouldn't have done that to you. You don't want to be with a person that is, you know, chatting up other people whilst you're together, and then obviously the fact that he left you, like he is not the type of person that you want in your life. In a way, it's obviously horrendous and it does make you feel like crap, I can imagine. But you have to think it almost happened not in a good way, but it showed you really early on, actually this person isn't right. Because imagine if you were with them for like 4 years and they did the same thing further down the line, because I think when it's in someone, you know, they can do it whenever. So imagine you get really comfortable and then that thing happens. So it's good that you can just try and move on and be over with it sooner rather than it being dragged out. And I can understand why you'd be upset about the girl, like comparing yourself to the girl, because that's understandable. But usually, like, not everyone, I don't know how to describe this, like not everyone is meant for each other, not everyone is perfect for each other, and it doesn't take anything away from you that you two aren't the perfect match. It doesn't reflect anything on you, it's just that you two didn't match, and you'll find someone that is your perfect, you know, match for you. So don't compare yourself thinking, oh no, what's she got that I haven't, because it's not about that. Sometimes you could just not be the right two people for each other, and I'm not excusing him, like, you know, ending the relationship for this girl, because that is horrendous, but you will find someone that you will appreciate like you and won't feel the need to find someone else, if that makes sense. Like your perfect match, although in relationships there's definitely not a perfect one. I hope that kind of helped, but it's understandably really difficult, and let yourself heal. Don't jump into something else straight away, because that usually doesn't help. Somebody said, how do you say no to a boy asking you to do something sexually without sounding prudish. Now this is really important. I wish I answered this first so everyone could see. If you don't want to do something, whether that is even literally just going for a date or, you know, kiss or anything like that, you don't have to. You don't have to, like, at all. And that is something that's so important to say. If you don't want to do something, say no. And you would hope, and I really hope, that the person that you're with would understand. And do you know what I mean? I know some people are horrible, but it's really important. If you're not wanting to do something, don't feel pressured to do it at all. You're not prudish. You could be with, you know, 30 different boys and then there's this one boy that you don't want to be with, and that is totally okay. It just means that you don't want to, and that's fine. You don't have to give any reason. You can just say no, and that is really important. It's not prudish that you don't want to. Maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe you want to wait a bit. Maybe you don't really like the boy enough, or you just, I don't know, so many different reasons. And you don't actually have to get, like, this is so important, you don't have to give a reason why. You can just not want to. Do you know what I mean? So it's really, really important never to feel pressured to do anything that you don't want to, because I would hate to think any of you would feel like it'd be uncool or like weird to say no, because it's not, like, at all. And everyone is on their own timeline, is that the word? Like, everyone does different things at different times, and there is no rush or no pressure whatsoever, and that is really important to remember. If you take anything from this video, don't feel afraid to just say no. Okay, somebody said breaking up and staying friends, is it a good idea? I haven't been through that, but relationship stuff is so topical. For example, like, if you're in a relationship with someone who's super close to your family and you're super close to their family, it's hard to just, like, cut that all off. Makes you want to cry thinking about it. And I think if it works for that person, and you're actually, sorry, my lips are so dry, I forgot what I was saying, I was just looking at my lips. Yeah, I think it depends on the relationship and the scenario, the reason why you broke up. If it was just a mutual, like, right person, wrong time thing, which, to be honest, kind of don't believe in that phrase. I think if it's the right person, you'll make it the right time for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I get people have things going on and all of that. I just feel like if it's the right person and you're right for each other, you'll make it the right time. I don't know, maybe in 10 years you'll come back together. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying, to be honest. Oh yeah, I think it depends on the relationship and how you left it and how your relationship with that person was before you know, became a couple. Whether you were friends before or whether you just became, you know, a couple not randomly, but do you know what I mean, like, without the friendship foundation before. It's really hard for me to advise on this because it's, like, very topical on what your relationship is like. But I think if it works for you and it's not, and you're not secretly thinking, oh, I wish we could get back together, because that is the worst thing, to stay with stay friends with someone and then think, we might get back together, and the other person's thinking, we're never getting back together, like, I've moved on to this other person. That would be the worst, because you need that communication to be clear with each other and be like, okay, this is gonna work in the future or it's not. Okay, somebody said starting a long distance relationship. So it's a 4-hour distance relationship, as in, like, 4 hours away, with someone that they met when they were away. Okay, this is something that I was thinking about the other day and I live by. I don't know. I think if the person is the right person, you will withstand the distance. I know, obviously, like, Evie's been in a long distance relationship and she's, like, come out the other side, so obviously it does work for people. For me, I would really struggle because, obviously, like, it's difficult not seeing the person every, you know, I don't see my boyfriend every day, but it's just the idea of someone being far away is difficult. But I think I would rather have that person in my life and see them less or find it more challenging than not seeing them at all. And I think it's whether it's worth it for you, whether that person is worth it to you. Like, for me, I would think, okay, I'm seeing them, like, once every month or something, which isn't very much at all, which is hard. And as long as you have, like, a goal at the end, like, okay, in a year he's going to uni and he's going to be closer to me, or in a year we're going to move in, or in a year we're going to whatever, so that it's not like, okay, for the rest of, you know, for 10 years until he decides to move out, or you decide to move out, or she, or whatever. Like, it's like having a reason, a goal to stay together, if that makes sense. It makes it easier because you're like, okay, only, like, 6 more months of this. Do you know what I mean? But I just think, for me, weigh up whether you're like, okay, I'd rather be with this person and not hardly see them, but see them less than I would in another relationship, because I want this person specifically, not just a relationship. I want this person in my life. Or whether it's like, oh, I could find someone else that's similar and closer to me and more easy. So it just depends what you think. But I think if you really like the person, there's no harm in pursuing it. I mean, you've got FaceTime, you've got text, you've got like a 4-hour drive. It'll probably take a couple hours on the train, meet halfway. Do you know what I mean? You can make things work easily. Okay, somebody said a friend wanting to get into a relationship with a boy you've slept with. What do I do? Now, I think that is no. Me and Evie were talking about this, and we were like, the thought of someone being interested, like, the thought of going out with someone that one of my friends has gone out with makes me feel sick, like actually sick. The fact that they've done whatever or being together or that person's like them, and then for me to suddenly be like, oh, I like you too. I think that's so weird for me, like so weird. But I'm not dissing anyone, like I've never been in that scenario, but maybe I can understand why, I don't know. But for me, that is a big no. On the friend's half, I'd be like, it's difficult because it depends whether you two were in a relationship or you had just like randomly slept together, or like it depends on the relationship that you had with the boy first. But if you're not comfortable with it, then 100% make it clear. And because a friend just might not know that you two had, or might not know that you're unhappy with it, but you've got to make that clear. Because for me, I would be like, you know, it would be my ex, I'd be like, well, what the hell are you doing still? But that's just my opinion. So you've got to feel like, okay, think in a year's time, would you be happy if those two were dating or doing whatever and that was your previous ex, and how that'd make you feel in the long run? Because it's not like you can't be like, you can't ever be together, but it's like, would you want to be friends with that person, around your ex the whole time? It's just one of those things that you have to like see if it's worth it. Do you know what I mean? And that is all for today's video. I think I answered a lot of questions. I've been filming for like 20 minutes, so hopefully that'll be like a long enough video. I'm gonna save some of the questions for a future one with some friends. I think that could be fun. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up and stay tuned for more videos. I'm finally getting back onto the YouTube grind, uploading more finally. So I hope you guys are excited about that, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!